Hey YouTube, welcome back to my show, The Leopard Cat. We're fun, sexy, fearless, independent, and always opinionated. I am here to do the long-awaited American Horror Story Apocalypse Episode 6 review, Return to Murder House. First of all, thanks for clicking on the video. Please thumbs it up first and share this video on Facebook and Twitter. Also, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Virgo Vixen. My Twitter is lit every Wednesday, so be sure to follow me and live tweet with me. Now, this episode right here was the long-awaited Return to Murder House episode we have all been waiting for. Jessica Lange returned, and she did not disappoint. It did not disappoint. I love this episode. It was the best one yet, and I just want to get into it. Starts off with Madison and Billy Porter's character pretending to be a couple to get into the murder house. The realtor tells them they're not responsible for anything that happens in the murder house. They had 36 murders, and if they are 37 and 30 or 32 murders, and if they're 33 and 34, that they will not be able to sue or do anything about it because, they are not responsible. When they enter the house, the ghosts won't appear to them, so they do a spell in order to make them appear. They first see the burned girls that were there, the one that Dennis O'Hare, his daughters, they appear to them first. And then we see Ben and Tate having a therapy session, as always, and Billy is not Billy, but Tate is still having problems with Violet. Not speaking to him, he's trying to change. Even in the afterlife, he's still like, I am a good person. I love Violet, and I really, really, really just want her to at least speak to me. Like, that's all I want. I just want her. And Ben is still trying to be a good therapist to him. But Madison and Billy Porter introduce themselves as powerful witches. And they're like, oh my God, how can you see us? They're like, we're powerful witches. And we came here to basically ask about Michael Langdon. And Ben is just like, yeah, I stayed away from. Tate's like, yeah, even as powerful as you are, you won't be able to be protected in this house. So I'll watch my ass if I were you. And he walks off. And Ben's just like, I can't help you. I'm busy. He's like, what are you doing? You're dead. He goes, I have to stare out the window, cry, and masturbate. It's my daily thing. And I was just like, oh my God. Is it me, or does it seem like every time I picture Ben from Murder House, I picture him masturbating or like being unable to control his sexual desires? I don't know. The guy who played him, Dylan McDermott, he has aged. They're supposed to be ghosts, but he has aged. Evan, of course, didn't really age that much. He still kind of looks the same, but Ben doesn't. Beauregard shows up scaring the hell out of Madison. His little ball comes down, and she starts screaming her head off. Then Billy D. Howard shows up and helps get rid of him. She says, oh, you may not want to do that because Billy Porter is getting ready to do a speech. Like, don't do that. You don't want to upset the other spirits. So basically, he basically has to abide by her because she's like, I'm the only one that's living here that has been dealing with these spirits, not you. So I know what I'm talking about. And basically, next thing we know, we see Constance Langdon. She shows up and she basically tells them, I'm Constance Langdon and this is my fucking house. And I was like, oh my God, Constance Langdon has returned. I am so stoked. All hell, Jessica Lange. Oh my God. Woo! This is definitely one of my favorite seasons. I don't care what anybody says about it. And, they asked her, about Michael. And she said, oh, honey, I don't spill a drop of tea for free. And when she said she drank Crown Royal, I was like, I knew she was my kindred spirit. I knew she was. And she tells them, I really need you to get rid of Maura. She'll tell them everything they need to know. So they end up digging up Maura's grave and burying her with her mother. And we see this tender moment between Maura and her mother, who, of course, we see was very sick. Sorry. And we also see that she was the one who killed her mother and pulled the plug, and she confesses to her mother, and they had this sweet moment. Her mother's like, I want to thank you for that because I was suffering. She just basically walks off to the afterlife with her mother. And I don't know if the same can be done for the other ones who, if they want to leave the house, they have to bury up their remains and bury it someplace else. I don't know. But Maura is gone now, and Constance Lane is just like, whoo, she was the worst maid in history. She screwed my husband, was the worst maid, and now I just can't even believe she's out of my sight. Oh my gosh, I just want to soak up all the quietness. She never stopped talking. So basically, Constance telling about the time Michael Langdon was left alone with the babysitter, which was the last episode of Murder House, and ended up killing the babysitter. And she says how she told the police that she ended up killing herself, and they of course believed. And she's like, at least I didn't have to bury that one. So she says, it started off being seeing dead flies in his crib. Then he started killing off little birds and rats and animals like cats and dogs, skinning them and killing them, having them all over the house, leaving them as presents for me. And she said, and I ended up burying them all with a little bit of my soul. She said, and on top I ended up burying or planting rose gardens, rose bushes to help, bring life to the freaking dead world she was living in, basically. And as time went on, she said she went in his room one day and he had aged 10 years overnight. And she couldn't believe it. She was like, oh my God, is that my grandson who's aged 10 years? And she was like, oh my goodness, she didn't know what to do. So she had a priest come over to try to help him, and he killed the priest. He was just sitting there playing video games. She saw it, was just like, oh my God. So while she's sleeping in the bed one day, he comes in and strangles her and says, you're not going to be telling me what to do anymore. And then all of a sudden, as she's gasping for air and trying to get him to stop, he finally stops and is just like, oh my God, Grandma, can I have a glass of water? And then she just goes, may I? And he goes, well, may I have a glass of water? And he gets off of her and she's just like, oh my God, I got to do something about this kid. She goes, if I had corrected his grammar one more time, he would have just slit my throat. She said, I thought I was just raising a regular serial killer like Tate, but I'm raising somebody much more deadlier and much more powerful. So basically, she goes to the murder house and kills herself. She literally got some pills and some music and some wine, and she just killed herself. And she was there with her two children, Tate, Beauregard, and they didn't show Addie, but they showed the fourth child, which I thought was the thing in the basement. But it's this girl who was born with no eyes. I don't know, it's weird. And when Michael comes home, he's like, Grandma, Grandma. And then he's crying as he sees that she's killed herself. And then Ben comes there and he just tells her she doesn't want to see you. She will not appear to you in the afterlife. She doesn't want to see you. She fears you. That's why she killed herself. And he's just lost because he's like, he's trying to be good, and Ben takes him under his wing. He's just like, let me be your father. All I can view you as being my son. And they have this tender moment where they play catch and they catch up, and he's basically trying to be there for him. And he goes in Tate's room, and Tate's like, what are you doing here? Get out of my stuff. He's just like, I'm just trying to be like you, Dad. He's like, you are not my son. Even I could never bring up somebody and make somebody as evil as you. You are not my son. Get out. And he gets out, and he's still trying to be good. But as these two women move in, he kills them and destroys their spirit. Like, evaporates their spirit, dressed as the Rubber Man. And Ben is just like, oh my God, I can't even help you. I can't help you. You really are evil. So basically he does what he can to try to be good, but he really can't do it. He really can't. And when let me look at my notes. Vivian, she tries to tell him, Vivian and Ben have this tender moment where he just tells, I'll never stop loving you. And can I just say, this couple, as complicated as they are, they're one of my favorite couples. Like, they are such a real couple. And, she just tells him, I know you still love me, but I can never forgive you. I can never stop hating him. And then the other baby starts to cry, and she just says, go see about your son. And she talks to Madison and Billy Porter about how the crows started circling the house, and how the strange occurrences were happening when Michael just turned 100% evil. And how these three satanic people came to the house, and they were telling him that he's the son of the devil, and he just seemed to be so happy about it. Then they show Miss Mead, which was one of the three, picking up this girl waiting on the bus stop in the rain. And when she got in the car, she saw that the cross was like hung upside down, and she tries to leave. And I'm like, why would you ever get in the car with somebody you don't know? You never get in the car with strangers. I don't care what circumstances you are in. You never do that. She drugs her, takes her back to the murder house, and they all four, including Michael, do this satanic ritual where they cut her heart out and Michael eats it, and you see these seven heads that represents the devil. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is so demonic. And Vivian tries to kill Michael, but he attacks her with fire. But Tate saves her, and I'm just like, well, he tried to destroy her soul, I guess, because she's already dead. She died giving birth to him. And in the end, Madison and Billy Porter have all the info they need to help Cordelia to take it back to her. And Madison helps Violet, and Violet and Tate reunite. And we hear this crazy reggae music that I'm going to have to Shazam as they kiss and hold each other in the window of the murder house. And that's pretty much how it ends. But they basically say Michael is not the son of Ben or Tate. He's the son of this evil spirit in this house that is the devil. He's the son of the devil, and you're gonna have to do something to try to stop him, because he's way more powerful than a witch, a warlock, or any other evil person. He's way more evil than that. And basically, Billy Porter's just like, oh my god, I am so sorry that I helped to initiate and bring on the devil, the son of the devil, as our new supreme. Basically, him and Madison leave, and you're just like, oh my god. This episode was great. I give it a 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. I really liked this episode. I like Jessica Lange returning. One thing that I wanted to talk about too was, is Constance Langdon a witch? Because even before she could see the spirits, she could see Tate, and she could see Ben and Vivian and all those. She could see them after they died. It was just like, is she a witch or something? Anywho, that was my review. I really like this episode. Leave a comment below and tell me what you thought. Tell me your favorite parts. Tell me what you think is going to happen on the next episode. And I will see you in my Arnold review, which will be up hopefully by the weekend. Today, the 7th episode comes on, and I will be doing a special one for Halloween. I'll be doing one probably as I watch the show, and then I'll do another review after that. But I just want to do something special for Halloween. Tell me what you're doing for Halloween. Or you just staying in and watching American Horror Story? Or are you going out? Tell me what your day is going to be like. And I'll see you in my next video. Peace.